Welcome everyone. My name is Susan Patterson. I'm a national leader in the fight against human trafficking and author of the book, How You Can Fight Human Trafficking, Over 100 Ways to Make a Difference. The mission of this channel is to equip the community to fight human trafficking by providing solutions and actions that we know work to both prevent human trafficking and address the needs of victims. In today's video, we're going to look at a powerful strategy to prevent sex trafficking. When street outreach groups offer the opportunity to prostituted people to get out of the life, contrary to what many people think, the majority do not take advantage of that opportunity despite being told that they will receive resources and job training. But still, they refuse. Why is that? The two major reasons are trauma bonding and the fact that for many, they don't believe they can do anything else. Trauma bonding is when their trafficker tells them his story of having grown up in foster care or the like, having been abused, etc. The victims share that they too had a really tough childhood, so they bond. The pimp or human trafficker calls his victim's wifey, and they refer to what they have living together as a family. Often the prostituted person will defend her trafficker because in her world, he is the only one who really cares about her because that is what he tells her. If he beats her, he says something like, "Look at what you made me do." We're talking about a person who not only has trauma bonded, but who has PTSD and has been brainwashed. So leaving means letting go of what he or she considers to be their family and leaving someone who they believe cares about them, who may have a temper, but that's because they had a hard life. In today's video, I will be addressing the second reason, which is that the victims don't feel that they can do anything else. So they think they are stuck and just have to accept their fate as a prostituted person. The same is often true for the perpetrators of the pimps. They don't feel that they can do anything else either because of a criminal record or the like. Sex trafficking is second to drug trafficking for gangs, but is growing at a faster rate than drug trafficking. For sex trafficking victims who are rescued or attend a diversion program, and for former gang members, there are many entities that are offering them scholarships, training, etc. One outstanding example is the IBEW, the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers. There is a serious lack of electricians in the US, and other than high security jobs, one can still work in this industry even if they have a felony on their record. The IBEW partnered with Second Call, a nonprofit that worked with former gang members, many of whom have gotten out of prison. Second Call is a community-based organization designed to save lives by reducing violence by assisting in the personal development of high-risk individuals, ex-felons, etc., and others who society disregards. The reason why the Electricians Union partnered with Second Call is that there is definitely a culture in both prison and in the gang community. Second Call educates these individuals so that they understand the culture within where they will work as a skilled laborer. The theme of this video is to prevent sex trafficking, so for the purpose of this video, we're going to focus on solutions and provide an example of a brilliant and innovative statewide program that is increasing high school graduation rates in one of the poorest states in the US. We know that the average income for a high school dropout is $20,241 compared to $30,627 a year for a high school graduate. If you add in more skills that businesses need, it is even higher. When survivors give their testimonies, they mention that the reason why they were vulnerable to becoming a victim is that they grew up poor or in the hood and saw no way out. Becoming a prostitute seemed like the only viable option, when they couldn't find a job or only a minimum wage job because they dropped out of high school or some other reason. On the recruiter trafficker side, becoming a gang member seemed to be the only solution to not being poor for the rest of their life. North Carolina used to have one of the highest high school dropout rates in the country. Around 8 years ago, the governor did something extraordinary. In addition to meeting with community leaders and teachers, he met with the students to find out what the source of the dropout rate was. These students told him that they needed to drop out of high school to work since their families did not have enough to eat. They would often hear their younger brother or sister crying from hunger. The governor listened and created a program at the high school level where one graduated with skills that qualified them for a higher paying job. This created a bigger dream for their future than the one the students had, which motivated them to graduate while doing the best they could to support their family. As a result, North Carolina went from having one of the highest high school dropout rates to one of the lowest dropout rates in the country. The skilled workforce they created at the high school level has attracted a lot of industry to the state. This is a great example of showing youth the way out of poverty, and is also a win-win-win situation. The schools got more money because there was higher attendance. The students and their families won because they had higher paying jobs, and the state won because they were able to collect more taxes from all the businesses that moved into the state to take advantage of the skilled workforce. As part of the movement to provide more opportunity at the high school level, the North Carolina Innovative School District, ISD, was created in 2016 through legislation enacted to improve student outcomes in low-performing schools across North Carolina. The ISD works in partnership with local communities to design and implement strategies for school improvement, creating innovative conditions for accelerating student growth and achievement. Every year, the high school graduation rates continue to climb. North Carolina still has one of the highest poverty rates in the U.S. However, it has dropped 20% since 2014, and only a handful of states have matched or exceeded that level of bringing people above the poverty line. Poverty is a complex issue, and I don't want to oversimplify it. This is just one thing that can make an impact on poverty. However, I did want to make the point that in the U.S., we have a lack of skilled workers. There are 1 million more coding jobs than workers to fill them, so we import foreigners to fill those jobs. There is a huge nursing shortage. There aren't nearly enough electricians, plumbers, auto mechanics, etc. Many in poor communities would jump at these jobs that start at $60,000 a year, but they don't see a clear path to making that happen because they feel they need to find a job right away so they can contribute to their family. College requires a bus to get to school, and for someone who has to think twice about buying 2 stamps because that's the cost of 1 package of Top Ramen, which is their lunch, they certainly can't afford a bus to get to college. What if we created a track at the high school level for the junior and senior year so that people could graduate as skilled workers? We do it at the junior college level. Why not at the high school level so we improve graduation rates and more people can be raised above the poverty line? There are lots of programs of vocational schools and community colleges. However, poor families can't wait another 2 to 4 years before their children start making money to support the family. Yes, there are student loans. However, for someone who is poor, getting a student loan and owing that much money is terrifying, and applying can be complicated. When one has been beaten down by poverty, who has been humiliated by it on a daily basis, and who may not be getting enough to eat, everything about life can become really hard and seem insurmountable. Getting on a free bus to get to a free high school is simple and not intimidating, and is an example of meeting people where they're at, which is what the governor did. Am I saying not to encourage people to go to college? Of course not. But college is more manageable by someone from a poor community taking a few classes at a time while they work at their $60,000 a year plus jobs, versus struggling with a minimum wage job as they try to get through college. Skilled labor jobs can be a stepping stone to something bigger if they want to pursue it. The former gang members who went to prison and now work as electricians as a result of what the Electricians Union and Second Call did for them now have the pride of owning a home, a car that works, being able to provide for their families, etc. They will never go back to gangbanging or back to prison. Organized crime, meaning entities like gangs, are responsible for 84% of sex trafficking in the U.S. We need girls and boys to know that there are lots of things they can do other than being a pimp or a prostitute. So when the trafficker comes around to recruit them, they proudly tell him or her no. They have big dreams for their life that they can do because they have so many opportunities in front of them. Please do support our work by subscribing to this channel and liking and sharing this video and leaving great comments. Thank you for watching.